Hello traders, right, it is Saturday morning, time to have a look at some weekly charts. So I've had a nice walk, just got back, made another coffee, so I thought I'd put together a video of what I do most weekends, in fact more and more now, because I've got into sort of a routine of these weekly charts. Let's face it, if a few hours work or less gives you a really good idea of what the market is doing, then it's worth doing, in my opinion. So what I do is just literally, I've got this watch list here, not sure what went on with that thing there. I think I just deleted half of a ticker, as it were. I'm going to start expanding this to some of the other exotics as well, after Chart Mechanic brought my attention to the USD, I think it was the Mexican dollar, and a Chinese something or other as well, Chinese yen or whatever they call it. Anyway, I shall be spreading my wings. So I haven't looked at anything further. I don't think I've done Euro NZD yet. I thought I'd explain this, that I put up on Twitter. Basically, there's loads and loads. You can go on forever with annotating these things. You know, I didn't really sort of make a note of this on here anyway. This resistance that's been tested as support, not to the pip. It's just a little bit higher, but it's pretty much done that too. So it's got to close below that resistance high there, this green candle's high, and then that might well cause another little bounce as well. So, you know, all you need is a few lines on your charts and you're good to go. Left this on because and that's part of the reason I wanted to make this video. Actually, it's just reminded myself, I'd forgotten that, is this does have a value. You know, you've got a massive all these massive spikes that are another story on their own, and as we can see, these spikes here that I mentioned here, but look what happens, you know, when it goes from green to red, and it's closed red that week. So what would you expect this to potentially do? Well, I'm not going to go into the lower time frames and see whether it went up first and then went down, or went down first and then went up. But as long as you've got a good idea of the sort of sentiment, as it were, you know, bearish there. This one's interesting because it's a green doji type candle, whatever they call that particular one, and I suppose it would be a shooting star or inverted hammer if this had more of a body on it. But as we can see, massive push up. Again, not going to go into the lower time frames. Then it's closed almost where it opened, with momentum to the downside, clear strong bearish momentum, and lo and behold, this one goes down. Now, I don't like trading EG, European GBP, but a trade's a trade at the end of the day. Now I'm trading the Asian session. Literally, Monday morning has become very exciting. So, and I'm talking about the middle of the night Monday morning. So in the UK anyway. So yeah, loads and loads of stuff on here, and I was going to mention, but it would complicate the charts, that, you know, if you flick to a line chart, then you can clearly see where the sort of flip zone, the battleground is, all of this here. So the line chart high would be around there, and you can see it's tested it. So for this to be bullish, in my opinion, based on this weekly chart, you'd want to see a big green candle that closes above that level, then possibly another pullback, and then maybe the euro will overwhelm the pound in terms of bullishness. And then we can see this is actually a 2B reversal pattern going on here as well. Pretty hard to see possibly, but for me, I can clearly see there's the 2B there. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. That's the critical sort of level, and we're coming back to test it, as you can see. So this could well find some upward pressure, as it were, but once again, that line chart level that I'd put on those two candles closes and opens and such like, that's the level that you'd want to close above and then potentially pull back and continue up. So, and at that point then you'd have an uptrend, low, high, higher, low, new high, pullback, continuation. So and you would expect on a weekly chart this level here to potentially have a problem. See what's happened on the candles on there. Yeah, it came up and tested it. There's a test there, and could be interesting in the long term future. You can get a lot of information based on your monthlies as well. We're on day 11, September the 11th, memorable day, and we can this is the point of weekly analysis, in my opinion. I've done it for well over a decade now, but looking at it with slightly different perspective on these sort of weekly Twitter tweets, as it were. So let's have a look at a brand new chart and see what we can see on Euro NZD. Well, obviously what screams at me is Aaron's indicator, the 3CR, so that's the penultimate level, as it were. That's the ultimate level, and that's the level that we need to close below. We've done that. We've bounced up and done a test. That shows uncertainty, sort of a doji style candle. What do we got else on here? Without going onto the lower time frames, we could just say, yeah, okay, we are bullish on the momentum side of things, but certainly wouldn't want to consider going long on this based on this. But what could we have a look at? We could put some a level there. That's support. You could look at the line chart, and that would show you sort of a low there, I expect. And we can clearly see we've closed below that, so this now is support or buyers that have become potentially sellers, and they may well be in a weekly chart and be in a 3CR. This could go sideways now for weeks and weeks, or we could just finally collapse. I mean, strong selling there for 2 weeks, so it may be time for a bit of sideways accumulation. So quickly look at that line chart, see that level. Yeah, it's way above there actually, so that's interesting. Let's put a level on there and see what that tells us. Got that low there, might as well put one on there while we're here. And back to the candles, and you can see, this whole area here closed, opened, had a battle around there and closed there, pushed down, monster candle, so we would have expected a reversal at that point. A few candles on your charts and you can build up a picture. We would have expected this bounce here after that 3CR. That's about all there is on there. That one wouldn't be interesting for me to consider trading without looking at the daily and possibly monthly chart. So that's it. That's all we need to do. Let's just have a quick look at Euro and see what interests me. Euro, Aussie dollar, see what interests me. Oddly enough, actually, I was thinking about this style of reversal, because we were talking about Fibonacci's on Twitter, and you could draw from the high to there, or you could just draw on that one there, and I can see, but just looking at that candle there, we are around the 61.8 level, well over the 50% level, so you can stick it on there. Oh, that's my tummy if you can hear that. And 61.8 reversal. Look at that, to the pip. Honestly, I didn't look at that. Actually, it's not, is it? It's not quite on the high there, I don't think. Or did it snap to it? Yes, it did. 61.8. I mean, that's Fibonacci's for you. There's the low, 61.8 pullback, 50% pullback. Is that line there? It goes on. So there's so much to be learnt from looking at weekly charts, and as I mentioned on Twitter, we've got all this stuff on our charts, yet we choose to reinvent the wheel, equidistance channels and so on and so forth. Tons more other stuff as well. Fibs, those are the only two I have on here at the moment, but there is loads more. And you know, what came first, the 61.8 level, or in this instance, the break of that support with that big red close, or the break through that line low. My stomach is making a there. It just goes on and on and on. So thanks for watching. The whole point of this video really was just to remind you the power of weekly candles, weekend analysis, and you know, building a plan and having the confidence, because the weekly levels, you know, the higher the time frames, the stronger the information and moves are to be gleaned from it. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.